What is up, everybody? How you doing? It is Wednesday, March 14th, and we have made it all the way from episode 1 to episode 50 of Ask Broman. Yay! You all might recognize my guest today. This is Tim, Darkness429. He has been on the podcast a couple of times. He's a smart dude, but things have been changing in the streaming landscape, which is something that I talk about a lot. And Tim is one of the people who is benefiting, in my opinion, in the largest way of the changing landscape right now, because Tim is now streaming full-time over on Facebook. Yeah.
I'm over on Facebook. Yeah, because last time I was on, I was still on Twitch.
You were. Yeah, it was episode 18 was the last time you were on, and that was like a long time ago, apparently, because now I've been doing this for a while, which feels weird. So I'm sure you get questions like, well, I know personally, because we talked, that you get questions all the time. And for those of you, or for those of the people that are listening that are curious as to why you moved over to Facebook, I would like to give you this forum to talk about that, and then you can tell those people to just come listen to this and shut the fuck up later. Because one of the banes, one of the downsides of streaming is, like, there are hundreds of thousands of people that might watch you, and they don't watch you at the same time. Right. So if there is a change, you have to answer that question every single day for like 8 months. So it's tough. So yeah, Tim, like I think that's a question everyone's really curious about.
Sure.
So I'd like to get your perspective on that, and then we'll kind of go from there. Talk about streaming on Facebook, and then we'll get to questions when we get to questions.
Sure. Yeah. So I switched to Facebook because Facebook approached me. Their partnership team came to me. They sent me an email and said, "Hey, we have a proposition for you, and we'd love to sit down and talk with you." And when you get an email from Facebook, you know, from internally from their partnership team, you're like, "Sure, yeah, let's see what you have to say." I mean, this is the world's largest social media platform. Like, why wouldn't you want to at least hear what they had to say?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so they sit down with me, and they gave me the whole spiel, and they said that they want to start really ramping up their live streaming. Live on Facebook has always been a thing. Like, I want to say always, but it has been a thing for a while.
A couple years, yeah.
Yeah, it's been there. I mean, you've been able to like live stream from your phone, and that's really what I thought of when I thought of Facebook live streaming, was like Chewbacca Mom or like Etsy sales from people. You know, like it's like those little things.
Mom, I forgot about Chewbacca Mom.
Like Chewbacca Mom became like super viral because of Facebook live streaming. But you never really think of video games, because Twitch really has just always owned that space, and Mixer kind of came in. YouTube gaming kind of has been there, but you didn't really think about Facebook. And so when they finished giving me the whole spiel, and at the end of it, you know, I don't want to go into too much detail about it, but when they told me that, like, we want you to stream on our platform, and we as in Facebook are going to promote your content in front of our 1 billion concurrent users. Not all of them, but I mean, there's a large amount of those 1 billion concurrent users that use their platform every day are going to see your content. And that right there, with just that grabbed my attention.
That's insane.
You don't know, that is something that I don't think very many people would say no to.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, well, that's just something that doesn't happen.
No, like, right. and for me, I considered myself on Twitch as a mid-level broadcaster. I was not at Ninja's level. I was not at Lyric's level. I wasn't at your level or Goth's level. But like I was sustaining myself. I had a good number of subs. I had a good followers. I had a good concurrent viewership, but the overall growth, it was never going to become exponential. There was never any room to really grow in the Twitch space. And it's because it's just so oversaturated. You and I have talked about this on the podcast before. There's so many people that are on Twitch that there's just not enough user acquisition. There's not enough new viewers coming into the space constantly to fulfill the needs of the broadcasters.
And the funnel on Twitch is constructed from the top down, so that
the funnel always
gets more metrics, which is fine.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with that, but I mean, there's no trickle. There's no way that when Ninja goes offline, is it going, and then all of his users are going to offload onto little Jimmy Bob down there in the directory. It's just not going to happen. So for me personally, to have the opportunity to be on the ground floor of something new, to have the backing of Facebook, and not have to worry about financially the subscribers anymore. I don't have to worry about a sub count. I don't have to worry about directory placements. I don't have to worry about anything. All I have to do is just go in there and stream, have fun, entertain, and Facebook's going to take care of the rest. And they want me to be a part of the initial group of people. I mean, like that's like Lyric streaming on Justin.tv.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, or Soda Poppin' or Tim or Co, or like any of those guys, the
anyone
the OG,
who got started. Yeah.
Yeah, the OG Justin.tv streamers, it's the exact same scenario. So I was literally handed that same situation by Facebook.
Yeah, except they're gonna
but with a lot more users.
Promote you. They're gonna.
I mean, there's an ad. There are probably people listening to this right now that probably saw the ad that's running on Facebook that has me in it. Like I've been in 2 ads so far on Facebook, and it just goes everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's literally, and it's not like an ad for like I'm selling a shirt. It's literally me promoting my channel, saying, "Hey guys, I'm Tim. These are the games I stream. You should come check out my channel, like the page," and that's it. And that is Facebook's doing, which is so cool. You know, so like to have that opportunity it was a once in a lifetime opportunity for me, and I knew like it was hard. Like and I don't know if I've said this enough, but it was a very difficult situation because I felt loyal to my subscribers. I felt loyal to my fans that were built on Twitch, but at the same time, I knew I'd be kicking myself in the ass for not taking the opportunity to take a leap of faith and try something new. And that's the whole thing. Like, and Gary Vee talks about this all the time is like, when it comes
Tim,
to entrepreneurship.
I had to step away because there are people in my house right now. Could you repeat whatever it was, the last thing that you said?
Crap. Oh, right. Okay.
I'm really, really sorry. I'm really sorry. There are people in my home that are not respecting my time. So, yeah.
Where was I? Hold on. I gotta chat. Help me. Where was I? What was the last thing you heard, Ben?
The last thing that I heard was that Facebook was advertising you in front of lots and lots and lots of people.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. So, yeah, right. Okay. So then, so Facebook. So I've had they're promoting this ad.
They're promoting you. There's people that are here right now that are probably because of the ad campaign.
Right. Exactly. Okay. Yeah.
And it's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Boom. Okay. Cool. So yeah, it was a once in a lifetime opportunity, but I felt bad. Like I've said this plenty of times on Facebook while I'm streaming. It was like I still felt very loyal to my subscribers and viewers and fans, but at the same time, like I had to take a leap of faith and try something new. And it was hard. Like morally for me, like I felt like I was betraying those people that have been following me on Twitch, subscribing me on Twitch for so long. But at the same time, like I needed to try something new, and it worked out. And so I'm very, very happy that I did take that leap of faith, because here we are a month and a half later, and it has blown up bigger than I ever thought it would have. So, so long story short, there it is. Like there's the whole reason as to why I switched from Twitch to Facebook.
Yeah.
You know, like a mid-tier broadcaster having an opportunity to become
the face of a platform.
Face of a streaming platform with the financial backing that is Facebook. You know, like
That's
I don't
incredible.
think they're gonna. This isn't like me going like Hitbox or me going to like Azubu or like any like those weird
the
streaming
old
ones.
Competitors. Yeah.
You know, it's like this is Facebook. Everyone and their mom has a Facebook. I can walk into Publix right now and ask anyone if they have a Facebook. But if I ask them if they have a Twitch, I'm gonna get a weird look, and they're like, "No, I don't have a Twitch in my eye. I'm fine." Like, there's a lot of people who don't know what Twitch is.
Yeah, still.
And it blows my mind how many people come into my stream every day while I'm streaming on Facebook, and they say, "I had no idea people streamed video games," or "This is my first ever live stream that I've ever seen. This is really cool." Like, people are used to VODs. They're conditioned to watching videos on demand. They'll see the funny clips, they'll see the YouTube videos, but there's so many people out there that have no idea that live streaming is a thing. And everyone, when people are on Twitch, they know what live streaming is, but like, that's not the audience I want. Like, I want to be able to capture new audiences, people who have never seen the game I'm playing before, or they don't know anything about live streaming, and I have that opportunity to do that. Yeah. So
one of the big things, sorry, just to like piggyback on what you're saying. One of the things that I have been saying on this podcast for a while, and before we started the podcast on stream for 2 years, is a lot of people look at locations where there is not gaming content online. Facebook is one of them, and the other one that I think a lot of people should start paying attention to in the gaming space is Instagram. because people are like, oh, well, people don't go to Facebook to talk about video games, or people don't go to Instagram to talk about video games. First of all, are you fucking kidding? And then, but second of all, if you're a content creator, you should look at that as an opportunity. If no one's making content, you are the person. You can be the Fortnite guy on Facebook. Well, probably not the Fortnite guy, because Ninja actually uses Instagram. But like, he
doesn't use Facebook though. You could
become the, Destiny guy on Instagram. You could become the World of Warcraft guy on Instagram. Like there are these wide open spaces for you to make content. And I feel like, especially on Twitch and people who watch Twitch, folks get incredibly romantic about making it in that location in particular. But if your goal is to do what you love for your lifetime, going to places where it's easier for you to get noticed is smart, because you don't have to play the stupid, like, you can invest. And this is what I think is so cool about Tim's story. You can focus more on creating. You can focus more on creating than you have to focus on like timing your content and all this other stuff at first.
I think one of the things that's so cool about Facebook is that it's all algorithm driven. So I'm not fighting in a directory. Like, I'm just hoping that the algorithm is good to me, and I get put in people's feeds.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of, and even like Instagram's a great example, because their algorithm loves live. And Facebook's algorithm loves live. So you'll notice if you do live streams on Instagram, even if it's just you just walking around Disney World or walking in your front yard, you will probably attract new people to your Instagram, because Instagram favors live streams. Right now, that's how they've built their algorithm right now.
Gotcha.
And again, like, I mean, I think Mixer is another great example as to where to go and put content where people aren't. Like, there's money there. There's people are putting money behind these platforms, and they just want people to use it.
Exactly. I mean, that's the other play, right? And Facebook has realized this, which is why they went after people to try and bring them on the platform. Is the people that make your platform successful is the creators on that platform. Like, the creators, like, if every top, let's say some sort of apocalyptic scenario happens and the top 10,000 people who streamed on Twitch stopped streaming on Twitch tomorrow, Twitch would cease to exist. Like, there would be no reason to tune in. So
people forget that.
It is like, so every single platform, whether it's, like platforms that aren't around anymore, like Vine, which is coming back, or it's, big platforms like Facebook, the reason people go there is because of the content. And if you don't have people making good content there, you're vulnerable. So one of the moves that Facebook made with working with Tim was saying, we believe that live streaming is, gaming live streaming is taking off, and we want to get skilled people in here to teach us how to do it. Can you touch on like the algorithm on Facebook? And this is my understanding. There are algorithms that run feed into your social media all the time, whether it's Twitter or Facebook or YouTube. And you have to be able to pay attention and like learn when they change the algorithm, instead of like, oh, they changed the algorithm, so I'm fucked. But like, do you have any insight onto the process there for anyone who might be getting interested into streaming on Facebook? Like, what are some best practices?
I'm still, honestly, I think a lot of people are still trying to figure it out.
Still learning? Gotcha.
Yeah, we're still learning like how it behaves. I'm still trying to figure out like why the way that I've looked at it is, I really think that it's just weighting heavier on what people are searching for. So I've noticed like PUBG streams and Fortnite streams, like Fortnite streams are doing better than PUBG streams. So in my head, that makes it seem like people are just naturally looking for Fortnite content. And because Facebook gaming, they're favoring the live content.
Gotcha.
So because it's a live content, it gets weighted heavier. Because it's Fortnite, it's getting weighted even more. So then that gets pushed up. So I've noticed that some small, like very, very small pages on Facebook will get a really, really high viewer count because they're playing Fortnite and because they're live.
Gotcha.
So that's something that I've noticed. So really, I think it just needs, like, people need to look at the trends and like what's popular, what are people really looking for right now. And so honestly, like, I'm really intrigued to see how Sea of Thieves does next week. Are people going to be looking for Sea of Thieves content on Facebook?
Yeah,
I don't know. So it seems like right now, like even like tagging, like I don't even tag live streams right now because the way that the tags work, like the tags, they work only for like pre-made tags. Like I can't put a tag that says Fortnite on my live stream.
Gotcha.
There's some things in the back end they're still working on, but like I don't even tag. So that's why I'm still trying to figure out, like, so I put at Fortnite in the title,
Gotcha.
like, so like adding the game, and then that's it. So I'm still trying to figure it out. There's like a lot of broadcasters are still trying to figure out that like magical algorithm.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting. So I mean, like, and the structure of that is completely different than the way that I would structure somebody to get noticed on Twitch, which is like, you have to fucking build a spreadsheet. You have to find out who streams what when.
Yeah,
like
I know.
what the best what the best idea or option is, like out of the 10 games you could stream, which one's going to be analytically the best. Like you need to be a fucking calculus genius and incredibly dedicated to sort of hack that level of attention out on Twitch. But on Facebook, it's basic. Like what I'm hearing right now is it sounds like there are some best practices you can engage in, and then it's just do the work.
Yeah, what's nice is that like I don't have to put in 12 hours a day because I'm fighting for directory placement. Like they have, like you can go to facebook.com/gaming or fb.gg, and like that'll take you to a landing page that shows you games that are being streamed on Facebook at that moment in time.
Gotcha.
But you're still not fighting for a directory placement. Like it just shows you like, hey, these are the people that are streaming the game right now, and you can click on one.
Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah, like that's it is different. I appreciate you being so open about this, because when I talk about streaming on Facebook, like I know that it's smart and I know that there's open space there, but I don't like, there's a lot of people who are like, well, how do I get discovered? And like, how does discoverability work and all this other shit. So I appreciate you like talking about this.
It's honestly, I mean, like I don't think like if you have a little bit of extra money, like boosting your live stream or like your VOD, I mean, like that's not gonna hurt. Like you could take $10.
You can actually buy advertising space. I mean, I do that for this podcast. I do that on any video content that I create on Facebook that I really, really want people to see. Like I have special ad terms that I have built out. And like that's a capability to bring your content to another, like you can literally invest in your stream in a way that's different than time.
Yep. And what's so cool is like the targeting that they have built into those your boosts are insane. Like you can get it down to the place where the person lives.
Yeah, it's
like you can go like, okay, I know I'm playing Fortnite, so I've noticed for me personally, 18 to 24-year-old males is the target demographic for Fortnite. Okay. All right. So then I can even look at where do people mostly watch me? And then I can even break it down to the city of where those people live. So then I know that 18, 24-year-old males who are based in London because of my morning streams where I like when I stream, and then I could like build a Fortnite ad and then target those people.
Yeah, that's absolutely,
which is crazy. Like,
it's
and
like
that's
a
the power of
tactical
Facebook, you know? And and it's like $10. You could use $10. And this is me not trying to shill for Facebook. This is just experience that I've had on Facebook before I even started streaming on Facebook. I did use their boosting program to get content out there to bring over to Twitch, and it works. It works out very, very well. So and that just shows us how well what Facebook does.
I mean,
Facebook does advertising very well.
That is the skill and power that like Facebook has. And like if everything Tim just said that he can do to put his stream in the face of someone else, to get the 5 seconds necessary for somebody to watch his stream and make the choice of whether or not they want to make him part of his day, that is something you literally cannot do on Twitch, period. No. You cannot do that. You cannot target advertisement for your stream on Twitch. Like, and that isn't like that. It doesn't take a lot of money. That's the thing, is like you can spend $5 with a hyper targeted audience and get a very decent return on it. And like, I think that is something that's really like, it's an incredible like asset. And for some people that are streaming and like you're getting started and you feel like you make good content, but you don't have 16 hours a day to broadcast, you have 4, but you have extra money, you can start to see why Facebook is clearly a better option for you than Twitch, because you have the capacity to engage in different styles of promotion there than you have here. you know, on Twitch, it's all who you know, networking, social promotion. Like it is completely up to you to build a relationship with somebody and then hope that they raid you, basically. Or something like Twitch. That, or cross promote you. Like that's it.
Or hope to God you get spotlight of the week, or you have a Twitch staff member that really loves your stream and they can get you front page time. Like that is it. That's the only type of outside promotion you're gonna get.
What would you say to someone who thinks that Facebook is saturated for game streaming?
I would laugh.
Okay.
Because it really isn't. Like there's 2
million people who broadcast every month on Twitch. How many people do you think are broadcasting every month on Facebook?
I don't want to guess because I feel like I'm going to shoot the wrong numbers, but I would say
if you don't want to guess, you don't have to guess, but I'm curious.
I don't know. Not a lot. I mean, I also haven't really been paying attention to.
Yeah, you're focusing on your shit. I get it.
Yeah, I'm so focused on it. But I mean, like the largest streams that I ever see are like ESL. Because like that's
they bought ESL. I remember that contract.
They purchased ESL, so all the ESL like CS:GO, Counter Strike, or CS:GO and StarCraft, all that stuff gets put on there. I don't know, maybe 2,000 people, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. Like I mean, that's me really just shooting in the dark.
Respect, man. Well, I mean, like, you know, I don't expect you to know anything and everything about that. So that's really interesting. Like I hadn't really considered the fact that you could boost post on yourself that you're live and that you could break it down so far as like targeting the people that you already know are watching you. And then you can do friends of friends and like, you know, like it's incredibly like I've learned a lot about advertising on Facebook lately because we've been using it more and more for Kings Coast. And we're getting ready to set up a really big campaign for Florida on Facebook for Guardian Con. You know, so I've been really focused on sort of learning about those demographics, but I hadn't even thought of the level, like the applicable level of like integration. You could literally set up like advertising pushes to different parts of the world as they wake up. To watch your stream.
Well, because the analytics in Facebook are insane. Like I've never been able to get that level of just analyzing, being able to analyze the data on my stream on Twitch. Like I can look at genders, I can look at locations, at devices. Which helps you tailor your content. Like I can see at like what day and at what time followers are most likely to be online.
Yeah,
like I know that like 1 o'clock is really popular versus 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know that Wednesday is more popular than a Monday. You know, it's crazy.
That is. And I mean, we're just starting to get analytical tools on Twitch that are even like moderately close. Like this year they rolled out region. So I know when people or where people are from when they're watching. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the other, statistics like, viewers over time are things that we've had, but, like we don't, and devices. But the idea of like knowing exactly when someone is tuning in from a region, there, like all the other analytical data that Facebook has access to, like that is, as a content creator, that's gold, because you can look at that, like you can look at those numbers and you can say, okay, like you could build out a list that says, all right, when I stream 2 hours into my morning stream, 80% of the people who are watching me are from, this area of Europe. So if I do a little bit of research and find out what's going on in that area of Europe and talk to them about it, like the engagement level that you have with your audience is like, it would shoot through the roof.
Yeah.
Like you just being able to say like, hey, have you been paying attention to this local event that's in your town? And then everyone in chat is like, holy fuck, this guy actually cares about me. And the thing is, like, that is something that I would do here, but I don't have access to those tools.
Right.
And it's just another place where over the long run, like Twitch is being caught with its pants down on those kind of analytics. And it is as a broadcaster there, you have less control and less power in that situation. And you just have to play a constant shoot in the dark guessing game. And that's not fun when you know that in other locations, people don't have to guess.
Right.
You don't have to guess at all. What would you, so that's kind of like covering everything on Facebook. Is there anything that you've learned since you've been over there that has like sort of changed your perspective? Like something you've learned from when you started to now?
You know, it's so weird though. Just like it just feels like a normal day for me. Like so, it's just I've treated Facebook the same way I treated Twitch.
Okay.
Yeah, I said that right.
Yeah.
Yep.
You treat Facebook the same way you treated Twitch. Yeah. So
it's just like, and it's just me just putting on a show and engaging with, and that's it. And it's amazing to see how people react to someone interacting with them live. You know, just to ask them how their day is, and you know, just like thanking them for follows or thanking them for sharing. You know, I've been treating my Facebook streams like OG Twitch streams. Like when I first started, like, you know, everyone that followed, thank you so-and-so, thank you so-and-so. And you get to a point where you just can't thank those people for follows anymore because you have so many coming in that is just like, you're thanking subs, you're thanking follows, and it's just like, you're thanking more than you're actually streaming. But like right now, it works because there are no subs and there's a little bit of tipping, but it's a little convoluted how tipping works. So like, just like, you know, Johnny comes in and says, hey man, I just followed. Thanks, Johnny. You know,
if you were a broadcaster that was getting started, and you're because I say this all the time, and maybe since you're there, you'll be able to impress this upon them as well. They're all a lot of people I talk to about this are incredibly worried about, like, is Facebook even going to let me monetize my content ever? Like they act as if there's this giant vacuous void and that they'll never be able to monetize their content on Facebook. Is that bullshit? Because I think that's bullshit.
I wouldn't be on this platform if they weren't able to monetize it.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Okay.
So now like, you hear from someone who's there.
Yeah. Like I don't want to get into the nitty gritty stuff, but like I wouldn't have left Twitch and my subs to come over to a platform where the ability to make money wasn't possible.
Yeah.
So yeah, monetization is slowly rolling out. Their first phase of monetization was in-house tipping, which they call support packs.
Okay.
And it's the same thing as bits for Twitch.
So they have support tax. Yeah. So
there's a $3, $5.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
motherfuckers. And how long has Broman been saying that Facebook is the king of feature borrowing? Yeah, exactly. I told you. I am right. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, Tim. So, that was a lot of.
No, you're fine.
That was vindication for me. I need to get my punches in.
It blows my mind. So it still blows my mind.
It would be safe to assume, correct, Tim, that they're probably going to bring something that is analogous to features that people are used to seeing on Twitch.
Yeah,
or Mixer.
Of course. Like there's
subbing or whatever.
Yeah, like it would blow my mind. I mean, this feedback that I have given to them, and I know there's feedback that other people have given to them. It would blow my mind if they didn't roll out subbing this year.
Gotcha.
You know, it has to happen. You know, it's just like it's something that has become so well known within the live streaming sphere. That you know, I would be blown away if it didn't happen. But yes, there'd be no reason for me to be on Facebook if there was no type of monetization.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Fair. I just wanted someone to say it besides me.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. So the other big question and concern, and then we'll get into answering people's questions here in a little bit. That people have is, how difficult is it to engage with your viewers since they're using their real name? And then I have a follow-up to that. Like, do you find that to be difficult?
No. I mean, okay, so for me personally, like not knowing who a subscriber was on Twitch because of their using their real name is a little frustrating. But like when they come in and they say, hey, it's so-and-so, then like, okay, right. But when it's like 5 Ryans, okay, yeah, that can be a little difficult. But for the same time, like for the most part, I'm just saying, hey, chat. You know, like, wow, chat, what did you think of that? You know, like I'm still engaging with them, or like I will pick out a name and like say someone says, hey, Tim, how are you? Hey, chat, I'm doing just fine. I hope you're having a great day as well. You know, It's the same thing. It's the same as saying, hey, Ladder Stall Boy 45, I hope you're having a great day too, dude. You know, it's just they're using their real name. And like more and more people seem to be more and more comfortable that they're using their real name. Like I still to this day don't unless you are a very popular person and you don't want your name. You don't want your name out there because it's dangerous or whatever. I get that. But for the most part, like you're not going to run, like not everyone in my chat is looking to dox everybody else in the chat.
Yeah.
Like that level of trolling and that level of attack just isn't there. And so like that fear is still kind of perplexed me as to like people are like, oh well, I'm not gonna go in there with my real name, like, but I wouldn't even know.
I mean, my real name's out there every day, and like 600 100,000 people know my real name. Like,
yeah, my real name's out there, and I maybe had 2 random people try to add me on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's it. You know,
and also for like as a follow up to this, Facebook has a feature called a fan page. And
yes,
my recommendation, and I'm sure Tim would back me up on this, is that if you want to stream on Facebook, you make a fan page that is your username and you stream from that. And if you are terrified about people knowing your real name, you can also chat with that.
Yep. So there
are some things difficult at all. Literally go to Google. How do I start a Facebook fan page?
Yeah, it's super easy. I mean, there's a couple things that they're still tweaking. Like for some reason, some fan page comments get filtered out. They're seen as spam because it's a fan page, not an actual account talking.
Yeah.
And so they're tweaking. Like they're trying to make it easier so that people can be anonymous on Facebook if they so choose, or if it's allowed by the broadcaster. Hopefully, those are settings that we'll be able to tweak in our chat rooms.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like the level of anxiety that I have seen from certain people in regards to talking in a chat has been very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, if you are like 100% stone cold, like you do not want to talk on your personal page, you can make a fan page and you can make comments through that. It's 100% doable.
I think that's that's fair, man. So I think that we've kind of covered the basics there from Facebook and the primary differences between Twitch and where Facebook's at right now. I think that Tim has made an incredible case to back up what I've been telling you guys for a while, which is if you're looking at starting to stream, there are places that are of equivalent power, like Facebook, that you may not be considering, and you really, really should, because you will regret it if you don't.
I've seen a couple people, just like one last thing.
Sure.
I've seen a handful of people that I have talked to, and they have gone over, like they were like affiliates. They were affiliates on Twitch.
Sure.
And they went over to Facebook and they tried it out. And to see them come back and say, hey, I got X amount of viewers and I got X amount of views on my video, and I never got that on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Just shows me that level of discoverability is there.
Yeah, I mean, it's wide open right now.
It's just waiting. Like, it's just waiting for people to come in and use it.
Yeah,
and so like it's really cool to see some of these people who have these success stories, and they've tried it. Like they jumped over like I did. They might not be making money. They're just doing it just to kind of like try it out and see if it's worth it. And for them to come back with positive reviews is really exciting.
Yeah. So I have a couple questions I'm going to ask you to, for concrete proof in case examples for you.
Okay.
So how long did you stream on Twitch?
I streamed on Twitch from February of 2014 until January 31st, 2018. So almost 4 years.
4 years. So in 4 years of streaming on Twitch, how many followers did you get on Twitch?
A little over 168,000 was when I stopped.
And how many total views did you have on your channel?
6 million.
6 million. All right. So first question, how long did it take for you to get to 6 million views on your Facebook page?
Oh, crap. So the way that it looks at, it doesn't actually show just overall views.
It shows impressions, right?
Impressions in video. So I can tell you in the last 28 days, my video views, I've done 5.6 million.
Okay. So
that means that someone, so in 1 month from February 13th until March 12th, which was 2 days ago, I have done 5.6 million video views.
Yeah.
In 28 days, I have done 6.1 million reach. So that is So that is just that's the number it counts when someone sees my stream in their feed.
Yep.
Doesn't mean they watched it. It just means that they were scrolling through.
It's an impression.
And it was an impression. They saw it.
Okay. And so how many followers do you have right now on
Right now I have 60, we'll just call it 67,000.
67,000 followers, which is
I'm 38 away from 67 right now.
Okay, so you have 67,000 followers, and that took you 6 weeks?
From February 1st until March 14th.
Yeah. So My final proof with Tim sharing these numbers with you is that there are options. You can be successful. And if you go there, if you check these things out, invest your time there right now, the payoff and the dividend is huge. So if you're just getting started, I think Tim's made an incredible case for the platform that he is on right now. And now we will hopefully get to questions that you have for me and Tim about streaming where Tim's at, which I think is probably what's going to happen about with all these people. So, but first of all, before we get into this, so I don't forget, Tim.
Yes.
I really do appreciate you coming on and being like open and honest, and I'm incredibly grateful for your time. And you know, I'm happy. I'm beyond happy for how things are going for you over there on Facebook. And I don't really. It's amazing that you come on and, you know, represent the platform that you're using now so well. So I do really appreciate it, and I think everyone else here does as well.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Yeah. So yeah, let's get this dude. He has been hitting both of us up on Twitter.
Okay.
So we'll talk to him. This is Torpedo Man Live.
Hello.
Which I think you probably recognize his username as well. How you doing, Torpedo Man? Hope you're doing good.
I'm doing good. My audio should be a lot better this time.
Sounds good, dude. It sounds very good. Yeah, no, you sound great. You're a little loud, but that was because I had you turned up from last time. What can we do for you, man? What kind of questions you got for us?
Well, you already answered the question about new features. I was wondering if, Tim, you've had any OBS problems. Yesterday, in particular, I was having really, really big problems connecting with OBS to Facebook Live.
Did he cut out for you, Ben?
He was cutting out. His question was, what sort of have you had problems with your broadcasting software talking to Facebook, and like what are the troubleshooting steps for that?
Yeah, so for me, the two biggest things that I've had issues with is just the pilot program partners, like the people like myself who are partnered up with Facebook. We get to use a special server that allows us to stream at 1080p 60.
Gotcha.
And sometimes, like, because it's an experimental server, it has some issues. So every once in a while it will like disconnect. But I mean, like, that's one of the really cool things of being a part of this program is having direct lines of contact with Facebook engineers and being able to like DM one of them and say, hey, like, here's my stream key. These are the issues. And like, they will troubleshoot. And it's very, very easy to fix it when you are talking to the source. Another issue that I've had sometimes, if you go in and you edit a post, sometimes Facebook will it won't use it'll uncheck your persistent key and it'll use a new key. And so like that happened to me this morning, is that I went and edited something in a post and it unchecked my persistent key and used something else. So when I went to go live, my key was different. So all I had to go do is back into the post and turn on persistent key, and my normal key that I use turned on. So
gotcha.
Those are the only issues that I've had with OBS right now. I'm not sure what you've experienced.
No, just yesterday it seemed like the connection kept getting lost to Facebook, and I don't know if it's hardware.
That is something that I think a lot of us were experiencing the other day. We were just getting booted off our stream, and like that happens on Twitch too. I mean, just like an ingest server has a hiccup, or it goes offline, or something gets DDoSed. On any type of server, you'll have some type of hiccup, and so like I was streaming 2 days ago and I got booted off just because there was just a hiccup with the server.
Yeah. And then is there anywhere that you go in particular for any sort of support, like technical support, like videos for Facebook, or do you just connect straight with the people that are making the programs?
Yeah, no, I have like a really cool thing that is I get to give feedback directly to Facebook. As far as like a normal route of contact, I'm not entirely sure. I can get back to you on that though. If you just send me a tweet, I will try to find out. Sounds good.
Other than that, I mean, I reached 50 followers a couple days ago, which
there you go.
In a month, that's ridiculous growth, I think.
What have you been streaming?
I do a little bit of everything. I do like Rainbow Six. I'll do Monster Hunter. I'll do Fortnite every once in a while.
Yeah, there's definitely some games that are just weighted heavier in searches, and so I've noticed that like if even though like Sunday I had like almost 11,000 viewers on Fortnite, if I was to then like play Vermintide, I would not get the same level of reach because it's just, there's not a lot of people looking for that content. So like definitely like trying to find those games that like, if you're pushing hardcore for growth, like you're just like, that's what you want to do. Like I would suggest like trying to find those games that have been really sticking really well, and then maybe focus on those a little bit more instead of like trying to like jump around and be that being that variety caster at the moment. If that's something that you're really pushing for, if you're just like just dicking around and you just want to play video games and stream it for the fun, then yeah, definitely like jump around and play the games you want to play. But if you're like looking for like that heavy growth and you want to start like building up that viewer base, I would definitely suggest like looking for those like Rainbow Six definitely sticks really well, and Fortnite for sure sticks really hard. So,
yeah, those are two of my most viewed days. And then whenever I do like Monster Hunter, I seem to be.
Yep. Yeah, it was the same thing when I was streaming Monster Hunter with Broman. Like my views, just like everything tanked. But as soon as I switched back to Fortnite, or I went to, I mean, I can even look at the analytics of. I know that older men like to watch Monster Hunter, and younger men like to watch Fortnite. It's weird. Like my 18 to 24, Fortnite. 25 to 35, Monster Hunter.
Yeah. Well, Facebook actually gave me like a $30 credit to promotion, so I didn't have to pay anything for it. And it looks like more women are watching me on Facebook than men, and they're watching more of my Rainbow Six than they are of anything else.
There you go. So that right there is that you are able to then target those people that are interested in your content. So you already have that target. You have the data. You then take the data from the people that already watch you and then target those ads towards the same type, but hopefully get new eyeballs on your content. So that's some really cool stuff right there.
Yeah, it's definitely, the app definitely works too, the Creator app. I just downloaded
the Creator
that a couple
app
days
is really
ago.
nifty. Very, very nifty.
Yeah, that's that's awesome. I've been using Facebook Creator for some of the podcast promotional stuff. That's fucking nuts. I'm just like, I'm learning a lot right now. This is really like edifying for me. Do you have any follow-up questions, Torpedo Man, or did we kind of cover everything you had? I want to try and get as many people through here today as we can, because a lot of folks have questions for Tim about Facebook.
We definitely covered everything. I just want to thank you both, and just tell everybody to keep trucking on Facebook no matter what all the YouTube videos say.
Awesome, dude. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Have a good one. All right. That's pretty damn it, Tim.
What?
I'm like such a whore for data. Like,
yeah, no, it's
like
crazy,
just cover
Ben.
me in data,
like,
please. And like the amount of analytics you have just is making me frothy.
I love I live inside my insights tab. Like I love just getting to look at all the different data and just being able to look at just all this stuff that I never had access to before. It's so wild. Yeah,
this is, I mean, like these are the kind of analytics that we've been begging for on Twitch for a really, really, really long time. And one of my hopes was that when Amazon acquired them, like Amazon's a big data company, they have a lot of fucking information, but that has not migrated into my dashboard, you know? You know, I have better analytics about who follows me on Twitter than I do on who follows me on Twitch.
It's because the back end, when it was originally designed for Justin.tv, was not built for the thought that this was going to become something big.
Yeah.
And so they screwed themselves. They would have to completely overhaul the back end and then ask for all their users to then re-sign up. That's not going to fucking happen.
Yeah, man. That's wild, dude. Chat, I'm not, everyone's panicking. I'm not going anywhere, chat. Like, listen, I utilize Facebook for a lot of other content that isn't, you know, my live stream content. And, you know, I'm learning, dude, and it's great. So let's get this guy. This is Captain Marty McFly, who's been on before. But I believe Captain Marty McFly, he's, I think, been interacting. I'm trying to look for the people who I have been seeing on Twitter, like really curious about Facebook stuff, because I know that means they got good questions. How you doing, Captain Marty McFly?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me again. I hope you guys are doing great today.
I'm doing awesome sauce, bro.
Awesome. Ben, we've kind of exchanged some DMs on Instagram a little bit while back.
Yeah, we've talked,
yeah. So just kind of following up, last time we talked, I was asking, you know, how to maybe leverage growth or maybe branching into new games with, you know, Destiny, you know, not being as
popular as it. Yeah, no, I mean, it's not popular right now.
Right. And, you know, that bums me out. You know, it's still a game that's, you know, very much in my heart, but, you know, I still strive to grow as a content creator. So I took your advice, looked at, you know, selling games from months previous. So like in January, you know, for example, Cuphead was still, you know, very high on the charts. I was like, you know what, I never played Cuphead, let's do that. It was some of my highest viewed content, had very intense growth from it, so that does work. There are ways to, you know, leverage that kind of stuff, and it's been great. Also started a monthly movie podcast because I'm a movie buff, and you know, I work in the production industry, so kind of leveraging you know, things with that. That's also been great.
Cool.
It's been received well, so leverage your talents. It does help.
Yeah, it works. Absolutely. So what kind of questions you got for us today, my man?
Sure. So couple questions. One, you know, this is more relevant to, you know, what you guys have been talking about right now, you know, with Facebook and, you know, platform changes. And there's been a lot of flux within the Twitch community and with some of my friends that I've kind of, you know, networked and, you know, have built, you know, cross community, you know, communication and, you know, families within that. Some of them are starting to migrate to, some are trying out Facebook, some are trying out Mixer. I'm asking, I guess, for, you know, some insight for someone that's maybe in my situation, and I'm sure others are in this situation as well. Been streaming for about 2 years, affiliated not long after the program launched, you know, about mid 20 viewership, strong sub base, pretty steady support from the community. I feel like I'm in kind of that weird sophomore awkward stage where, you know, you're kind of like Bambi on the ice. You're kind of still getting used to your body, but things are about to start getting good. Is it wise to consider platform change? Or, I mean, I'm not totally saying no to it, but someone that's, you know, maybe.
Do you want to do this as a full-time job or not?
I do, absolutely. Yes. 110%.
That's my answer. Tim?
That's rough. Again, I mean, like, honestly, for me, like, you don't have much to lose. Like at the end of the day, like that's really like how I look at it. You don't have much to lose. You know, I think like it's a great time to switch platforms. Okay. I think so. Yes, I agree with Ben. Yes.
Okay. I mean, like I've like, and I answer this because like the reason I went all in on Twitch, okay, instead of like, because listen, my option when I started making content was Twitch or Facebook, right? Or not Twitch, it was Twitch or YouTube, right? That's it. I was either going to make content on YouTube or I was going to go all in on Twitch, and I was going to spend just as much time doing either one of those things. And I realized less people were on Twitch than were on Facebook, or fucking goddamn it, too many social medias today. Less people were on Twitch 5 years ago than were on YouTube. And I watched a video from his name's Boogie. He's a YouTuber that he's like, I've followed him for a long time, and he made a video that said like, you know, I'm very blessed to be in the top, you know, 1,000 followed people, you know, on YouTube, and because of that I'm able to make a living. And that stuck with me because I thought, okay, if I can make it into the top 1,000 of this new platform, this can be my full-time job. And that's all I wanted. I didn't care that it was on this weird, quirky, awkward platform that no one ever heard of, and you couldn't monetize on it unless you had a massive following. You know, you couldn't get partnered unless you had 500 concurrent viewers. You couldn't get a sub button unless you had 1,000 viewers. But none of that shit deterred me. You know, I didn't get to have transcoding until I was partnered. You know, everybody forgets that, like, that's the state Twitch was in back in the day. And I said, I don't care. I believe that this company and platform can grow. And it was a riskier bet for me to say, I'm going to go all in on this brand new platform that's backed by fucking no one. That's a riskier bet than saying, oh, I'll go all in on Facebook, who has a proven track record of successfully launching products. You know, I think that if you're dead serious about doing it as a career, you need to think incredibly like hard about why you think you need to stay in one place instead of moving.
There is no way that I would be in the situation I'm in now. Like, I was able to build a house because of live stream. If I started today streaming on Twitch, there is no way I would be where I'm at 3 years down the road. 100%. There's no way. It is almost impossible now for anyone to really make any real money. Like, if you're just starting, there is no way you're going to be able to support yourself. I personally do not think, unless like you have some amazing viewers.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Super supportive. Like, and some people really are. Some people have attracted some people who just love supporting, and they are very fortunate. But I don't think that the ability to really sustain yourself in the Twitch space is there anymore for new broadcasters.
I don't think
I
wouldn't say that it's not there at all, but I would say that like Twitch is in a place that YouTube is in now. You need to be incredibly talented, incredibly entertaining, be incredibly smart about what content you play and how you time it, and it's becoming more and more important to be very skilled as well because of the games that are coming out. So if you've got it, like if I say all those things and you're like, fuck yeah, I'm entertaining, I'm awesome at video games, whatever, shoot your shot on Twitch. But if you want a chance to establish something different and to play a different game than everyone else, I think that, Mixer or Facebook are going to present better options.
Okay. And then another kind of like a follow-up question too, for my podcast, but I guess also, if I end up, keeping my flag planted on Twitch, what are your thoughts on buying ad space for cross-platform promotion? You guys have, really been, often about breaking down, the metrics and the analytics you're able to get from Facebook advertising. And I know Twitter does their promote option as well, but I don't know. I've heard some mixed feelings on the receiving end of that. Some people view it as spam and are quick to mute and maybe not follow up on it. Do you think, one, it's, a worthwhile thing to budget for? I mean, assuming, yes, you do have the marketing budget for it, like you have the money in place. Is it worthwhile?
I think it depends on your creative and your targeting. Like I did a whole bunch of advertising on Facebook to get people to come watch me during the Destiny 2 launch, right? Mm-hmm. Which I don't think I've talked about this on stream before. And it had some moderate returns for me, as far as like people tuning in. But I think that ultimately when it comes down to advertising, like it really just, it comes down to you, like your ability to make something that's creative and engaging that doesn't make you look like a douchebag. I mean,
Okay.
I'm dead fucking
you're
serious.
100% right.
I'm dead fucking serious. Like if your ad is come watch me on fucking, I'm the coolest, everyone's gonna tell you to go fuck yourself. But if you have a really cool, engaging piece of content that you're using as the backbone of your ad, no one's gonna care that they're being advertised to because it's fun. I know that every time I say dilly dilly, I'm advertising for motherfucking Bud Light. But I don't care because it's fucking funny. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I used the advertisement originally, I was using it to promote montages of like Twitch clips.
Okay.
And then I would say, if you want to see more, like here's my schedule and here's my stream link.
Oh, that's smart.
And so like that's how I promoted my content on Facebook when I was still streaming on Twitch. And so I think that's a great way to look at it is like, focus on why people should come check out whatever your product is. Mm-hmm. Don't make the call to action a direct, you should follow me. Give them reasons as to why.
Yeah, don't say, hey, come make a 4-hour commitment. Hey, come check this, 30-second little bit.
Say,
if you're happy,
hey, I'm so-and-so. This is what I do.
Yeah.
Show some examples. If you want to see more, here's the link.
My advertisement for Destiny 2 is just a really clean, come watch the Destiny 2 launch live with Professorbroman. Like that was it. Like that was my ad because like that's it. That's all I wanted people to do was watch the launch live. I wasn't trying to get them to stick around or any of that shit. It's a simple text ad. I didn't get any blowback on that. So it just depends on how you present it. Yeah. Completely agree with Tim.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I kind of like that too. This idea of, kind of like at a restaurant, giving like a free appetizer or something like, hey, here's a little bit. If you really like more, you may be more enticed to, maybe make a longer investment, 15 minutes, 30 minutes or an hour or whatever. Okay.
100%.
Yeah.
Awesome. One last question, if it's cool.
Yeah, sure.
This is more kind of, outsider's perspective. You guys have been doing this for a long time. You guys have lived very different lives and different life experiences. And so I'd appreciate just from some perspective. My job situation has kind of changed. I got laid off in January, so I've been kind of looking for work and freelancing occasionally. But it's a slow grind, to find the job. It's almost a full-time job to get a job.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Yeah, I've been unemployed before. It blows ass.
It does, and it's like a huge mental battle to just not go down a dark hole every day. And I'm thankful to be married because she's keeping me steady, as well as my Twitch community too. It's good to have people to connect with. But my question is because of this extra time, you can only apply and reach out for jobs for so long. I've been able to add more broadcast time to the week, which has been great. Growth has been solid with those times. They've been daytime streams. Engagement's been great. But now I'm streaming about 25 hours a week. And I'm trying to figure out, should I try to double down more time on it? I mean, I do have a newborn son as well. So, I mean, it's valuable time that, most fathers don't get with their sons when they're really young, especially if they're the provider. Do you think it's wise for someone who wants to, make content creation their main gig, their thing, their game, their job, to, double down on this extra time, try to, maybe get to 30 or 40 hours a week, like what would be, a more full-time job? Or
that depends completely on your finances, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's I've talked about this a few times on the podcast, but like when I started streaming, my overhead per month was $800. That was my rent, my ramen noodles, my internet, and my electricity. And that's it, and so it was not hard for me to take that full-time bet. So like, if like, let's say your wife has a job and it's paying all of your bills and she's on board with you shooting your shot and going all in, then yeah, like now's a fine time to do that. But it really boils down to like your finances and your relationship with your significant other, which is something that neither one of, like myself nor Tim, I wouldn't speak into that situation, and tell you what to do. But I think that that's how you should approach it.
Yeah, like there's no easy answer for that at all. Right. I mean, it comes down to balance, and it comes down to, like Ben said, finances. Like, and that's like, thankfully for me, like when I started streaming, my wife and I had an agreement that it was something that I liked doing, and I had a part-time job when I started streaming, and I was going to school, and so at that time there was enough money coming in where I was like, okay, like this could work, and so I left my part-time job at Best Buy to try out streaming. And my wife and I, thankfully, she had a full-time job as a mechanical engineer, which she still has. And so she was able to support us while I was trying this out. And then I was able to then put money into it. So like, she was able to help out with my career ventures. And not everyone has that opportunity. So again, it just comes down, and it also comes down to balance, dude. Like you need to make sure that you balance out your time so that you're not putting everything into your stream, because that'll affect your relationship. 100%.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm very thankful to be married to a very strong-willed woman that won't put up with any crap. If she feels like she's not getting her time, she will speak up, and she has before. So, and she's like, hey, put your phone away. It's family time.
Yep. Balance is very important.
Hey, man. So
that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, that's the framework for the conversation, man. And then ultimately that's it. The answer to those questions that when you talk, that'll be it.
Awesome. Well, thanks, dudes. I appreciate the insight and perspective, and thanks for doing what you do, and for taking the time to answer questions for people still trying to find their way like me, and it means a lot. It means a lot more than you know, and just thank you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I mean, it's the least I can do. Yeah. So we'll talk to you next time, dude. Oh, you want to let everybody know where they can find you?
Sure, absolutely.
The last guy. Yeah, tell everyone where they can find your ass.
Sure. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Captain McFly, CaptainMcFly. Still working on getting rid of that one, switching it to an L. You can find me on Twitter at Captain McFly TV. You can find my movie podcast. Just search Hill Valley AV Club. You can find me on Anchors, iTunes, Google Play. Mm-hmm. We basically give you a movie to watch on your own, whether it's on Netflix or Prime Video. We get together and discuss it like a book club, and kind of a podcast round style.
That's cool.
With broadcasters in. We're gonna do a bonus episode of Black Panther on Friday. So if that sounds cool to you, we're gonna have some cool Destiny broadcasters on to talk about that. And yeah, that's where you can find me.
Cool, bud.
Sounds fantastic, dude. You have a good one.
Thanks. You guys too.
All right. Tim, would you mind terribly if I kept you for 30 more minutes, or are you on a tight schedule?
You have me for however long you want to go on for.
I really I don't know when we're gonna have another opportunity to do this, so I want.
Yeah, you have me for however long.
Okay. All right, Chad. Tim's being nice, so we're gonna keep going on these questions. We're gonna grab. We'll grab this guy. He's been asking a lot of questions in chat, so we'll see if he's got he wants, maybe we can knock out these. They've been good questions too. So the Samuel Adams Hashtag not actually Samuel Adams. What can we do for you, my friend?
Well, I have just one question in general about kind of the direction that Twitch is going. But before we wanted to get into that, I wanted to say congratulations to Tim for the amazing success he's had on Facebook.
Absolutely, dude. Not enough people have been telling Tim congratulations.
It is amazing to see somebody gain in just like, what, 6 weeks, over 60,000 followers.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking insane.
Like, good for you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, but to get into the question, the more that I, browse around on Twitch and I try and figure out what kind of content that I personally want to make, I'm seeing a ton of people, obviously, as Twitch would be, and as most gaming platforms are, people just streaming and playing games, you know? And so as time goes on, do you think that it's going to be more geared towards the creative side of content? Because I started something new this week that I've been giving a shot, which is kind of like a morning show that I do every morning at 6 a.m.
Cool.
And I export that to YouTube after I get done with it. And It's been doing fairly well. And I've been clipping it and putting it out on Instagram. And I've been doing some things with that to promote it.
Wonderful.
But the more that time goes on, do you think that that's going to be more of a factor in growing on Twitch? Because it is, as we've been talking about this entire episode, so saturated.
Put that into one sentence, because there's a lot of things in there.
Yeah. Do you think that taking a more creative idea other than just sitting there playing a game is going to be the thing that gets you seen?
I know that Twitch is very focused on pushing the creative directory. It's something that you see, at least on the partner side. Like, maybe I see this because I'm behind the scenes more, but Twitch is very, very focused on making IRL and creative a huge part of the platform. Because if they can hit a home run with IRL or creative the way that they did with gaming, they double the potential user base of the platform, or even like far beyond that, right? So I think that there's a lot of space for creative. I think that you're fighting an uphill battle there culturally on Twitch, because the Twitch culture is still, this is for games. Yes. And I think the long term on that is like, it's going to be 3 or 4 years of Twitch working really, really hard, and probably 1 or 2 breakout stars, on Twitch that really solidify, like, this is a place where you can come do creative. And my concern is that there are some phenomenal people in creative. Like, her name escapes me. She does like the body painting where she'll turn herself into like really every anime character ever.
There's some amazing creators on
that is some seriously insane content. Like, that is awesome to watch something like that live. There are some incredibly skilled artists. I mean, you got people like Deadmau5 who will come on and like mix their next track live on Twitch. And so my concern is there's already people who should legitimately be powerhouses there, and the traction, like, they haven't got traction.
Right.
I think it's definitely an in long term. I don't know if I'd put a bet on that, but it's definitely a way to get noticed now, because it is different, and you'll have a quicker avenue to contacting people who are kind of higher up in Twitch to get your channel like noticed and promoted.
Yeah, that was kind of my thought behind it, because I've been making content on YouTube since I was 14 and I'm 21. So I have over 1,000 videos of this similar kind of thing that have actually gotten me a job before.
Cool. Cool. Excellent.
Yeah, and so I've seen what it can do, and that was kind of the success story I wanted to share really quick. For anybody listening to the podcast later on, this does matter. What Broman is saying does matter. It does have substance to it. Like, I'm getting paid by, I don't care about saying it, I'm getting paid by iHeartMedia to work for them, because of what I've done on YouTube. So yeah, it's a neat little thing, and I just want to continue that uphill success. And so I figured that I would go ahead and, as you say, shoot my shot on Twitch. And I tried Mixer out, and it was all right, but the people that follow me on Twitch missed me, and they all reached out and were like, hey, but I'm open to new things in the future, but I just wanted to see what your thought was on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's space there. I mean, if you've got a relationship with iHeartMedia and they're not active on Twitch, you should be their guy.
That's the kind of the goal. Actually, I've been
talking to them now. Oh, you already are. Cool, because he's a smart guy. He knows what the fuck's up.
There you go.
My boss actually, he watches Twitch, and that was the first thing we talked about in the first 5 minutes of introducing myself. So yeah.
Fantastic. Well, that's good, man. I don't know. Those are my thoughts. I don't know if you've got anything that you want to add to that, Tim.
No, you hit the nail right on the head, dude.
All right, cool, man. Well, thank you, Samuel Adams. You want to let people know where they can find you real quick?
Yeah, sure. Twitter.com/prettychillguy. That's where you'll find everything that I make. And then, of course, twitch.tv/thesamueladams. And that's pretty much the two main hubs where you can find everything that I create on this little internet thing.
Awesome, dude. You have a good day.
Yeah, see you, bud.
All right, bye. All right, bye, man. Oh, all right. That's cool, man. Yeah, that's that. I don't have any secondary thoughts on that. I usually do, but I don't this time. Let's grab Jam Jar Lid. Jam Jar Lid's been trying to get on here for a while. So hope rip.
He's gone.
Okay, Jam Jar Lid exploded and ran away. So we'll. Oh no, now they're back. All right. It's always fun working with technology. You never know if someone's panicking. Hey, Jam Jar, what's up?
Clicked the wrong button. Hold on, I need to turn on my AC.
No problem, my dude.
All right. So, well, my question is actually not like streaming or Facebook related.
Cool.
My question is basically like getting your life started, which is a fucking broad thing and a daunting thing.
That's very broad, but yeah, okay.
So basically, yeah, I'm 21 years old. Currently in my last year of university.
Awesome. What are you studying?
I'm studying economics.
Cool. Super awesome.
And but basically what I realized in my second year, or well, basically in my first year already, but in my second year more and more, is that I'm not interested at all in what I'm doing.
Rip. Okay.
During my second year, I started like working in the student union. So basically studying in Sweden. So we have these like student unions where we basically organize all kinds of activities for people to do. So we have clubs, we have dinner parties, we have pubs, we have everything. And I started working in the kitchen there.
Gotcha.
So basically I'm volunteering as a chef.
All right.
I just found out that I fucking love doing that.
Awesome. So you love cooking. Okay.
I love cooking. And I actually watched the Chef Wayne Face episode right before this started.
Oh, cool.
And that was really cool. But basically, like, I'm like pretty certain that that's something that I want to do right now. But I have one semester, like after this, I have one semester left on my education, and I don't see any reason not to just finish that off. But I'm also really struggling with being motivated to do anything.
Well, yeah, like, I mean, like you fucking hate what you're doing currently. I get that. Yeah. So you're like, but you're about to finish up, right?
Yeah. So basically, I'm actually on exchange right now. So I'm in Singapore. Mm-hmm. So basically,
so you're from Sweden and you're in Singapore right now.
I'm Dutch.
Dutch. Oh, sorry, someone in chat said Sweden, and I was like, "Oh, okay, he's Swedish," but that wasn't you that said that. That was someone in chat. You're Dutch, and you're living in the Philippines. Well. Gotcha. Or Singapore.
I'm Dutch. I moved to Sweden when I was 10 years old, and now I live half a year in Singapore.
Okay,
so that's the story.
Gotcha.
So basically, like right now, all I'm doing here is like I'm not motivated to do anything. Like I can't even bring myself to study. Like it's fucking impossible, and I hate it.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering, like, first of all, how can I get myself to just get this shit over with? And
I mean, you have to. Here's my mind on this. Okay, one, you have an incredible opportunity right now, given your background and the location that you are, to explore food in a way that you might not be able to in a little bit of time. So if you need something to motivate yourself, this is how I got through college, because I thought that I had to go to college, and I don't know where you're at with that. But like, you know, if doing this economics work is the toll that you have to pay to go out and try a new restaurant in Singapore every single night and learn from those chefs, it seems like a good trade-off. If you're looking for like motivation to finish, you know, it's sort of like, you know, paying your debt or your bills so that you can stay there and learn. Or you could just say fuck it and quit.
Yeah.
I don't say that lightly. Okay. I dropped out of my master's degree program Okay. Like I was in I literally did what I just suggested. And it sucks and it's hard. And like, I mean, in the US, you're saddled with a lot of debt, and I let everyone in my life down by dropping out of my master's program. Everybody was proud of me, and I worked so hard, and I was going to be the first person to get a master's degree from my generation of kids in my family. Like, it was a whole bunch of stuff was riding on me getting this degree, right? Lots of family pride, lots of other stuff. And I walked away from it because I hated it. And I said, and I didn't even have something else that I loved at that point. I just knew that I fucking hated what I was doing. So that is an option.
I mean, yeah, it is, but like, so I was also watching the Geek Chick episode, and like I've been binging this shit for a while.
Good.
What you guys said about like being the oldest in the family and kind of having this fear of failure. Feeling this like almost responsibility to be like, I don't know, maybe a role model for your siblings, or like prove to your parents that you're good at something, is like that's fear of failure has been my main drive in life ever since like fucking
you gotta get
school.
over it.
Yeah, no, at the end of the day, you have to realize that you're your own, like you need to do what is best for you, not what's best for everybody else.
Yeah,
because it's your life. Like it doesn't at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Your happiness supersedes everything else. And if you're doing something that makes you happy, that you're proud to do, that you can take pride of, and show that it's worth it to your family, then yeah, that's what's worth it. I mean, like I left going to be a physician's assistant to play video games. Like I dropped out of pursuing that dream to do something else that I am so happy that I did. I don't regret that a day in my life, because I am where I am today. And you too could be where you could be the best chef ever in Stockholm because you took that chance,
Yeah. Like I really, yeah. So Tim and I both came from places where we had one plan in our life that was, for me, it was very motivated by my family and trying to, please my parents and like make them proud of me. Right. So I left that to pursue, I didn't even know what, and then I found, streaming and making content and fell in love with it. It's worth taking the chance, man. It is like, life is far too long to live unhappy.
Oh yeah, no, I've realized that. I was imagining.
Yeah, life never seems longer than when you're fucking
like,
pissed off at it. Yeah,
and it's also long enough to where you'll dwell on the things that you didn't do.
Yeah,
that one thing that you could have done. Like, are you think about it a year from now? Are you going to regret not doing it? Think about 5 years down the road. Are you going to regret not doing it? Probably. You're going to kick yourself in the ass every day you wake up in the morning and you look in the mirror and you go, "Fuck, I wish I would have done that."
That's the single reason I'm in Singapore right now, actually. Like, because I was like, you know what? I have this chance now, and I need to finish like these exams like a week before I go, and I need to pass them in order to even get here. And I just fucking did that in order to get here. So, like, I need to do that. And then another question I have, like, these are still not streaming related, but kind of following up on that is, like, I'll be done with my education, and right now I'm living in a dorm in Sweden, in my university campus area. But after that, like, when that's done, I need to, as every young adult needs to do, I need to move into a place, and I need to find somewhere to live. And because I've been moving around quite a lot, both with my parents and me myself, I don't really have a place that I find like my home. Like, I'm just thinking about, like, how do I get started on that whole thing, like getting an apartment somewhere. Like, I could move back to the Netherlands if I want to, because all my family is there except for like my closest family, my core family. And like, how do you even start doing that?
You start doing it. Like, I mean, you make a choice and you say, I don't know if this is going to be good or bad, and you do it. Like, that's it. Like when it comes to like moving in and living somewhere, like every place has its positives and negatives, and you can sit there weighing them out for an eternity. But like if you don't know where you want to live, I mean, me in your situation, if I had the capacity, I would just fucking put a map on the fucking wall and I'd throw a dart at it and I'd move there. You know?
Yeah, I guess.
Or if you want to feed your dream, you need to go to the place where it costs you the least amount of money to live so that you can spend the most amount of your time investing in your passion. That's it. Those are the two options to me.
Yeah.
Thoughts, Tim?
Yeah.
Tim is now quiet.
No, that's it. I have nothing to say on that. That's exactly what you do.
Man. You've got to stop worrying about failing, because failing is going to happen. It's part of life. Like, you're gonna fuck up, and it's not about the fact that you fucked up. It's about the fact that you learn from it. I love fucking up. Every time I make a massive mistake, it means that I have like so much room to improve. It just takes time to get there, and overcoming stuff. Like, you know, why your parents, like worrying about your parents and your family and their opinion of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it's hard, man. I know it's hard, and it's difficult, but like, that's it. Like, you're either going to do it or you're not going to do it.
It's true. Yeah, I need to just get that in my fucking head.
Yeah. It takes time, but you can drill it in there. It took me like 5 years. Yeah. So just be patient and work on it every day.
Well, cool. Thanks.
Awesome, man. Well, Jam Jarla, do you want to let anybody know where they can find you right now for your cooking exploits, or anything else?
Well, right now, like, I'm sharing a kitchen with like a single apartment kitchen with 100 people, so cooking isn't really an option for me.
Gotcha.
But I don't know, like, I'm gonna start posting some stuff on Instagram, so if you want to see like a Swedish ginger fuck around in Southeast Asia, you could go to Instagram under I think it's my real name actually, so it's Espenlever, Espenlever. And I don't know, I'm thinking about just fucking around on Twitch when I come back, so that will be Jam Jarlin.
Yeah.
And that's it, basically.
Yeah, man. Well, I would love to follow an Instagram of a Swedish ginger guy from living in Singapore. Like, I love that. That's a massive fucking hook. Please post more on Instagram, and everybody go follow him. All right, Jam Jarlin, right, cool. Thank you very much, man.
Thanks.
You have a good one.
Thanks, Tim.
Love that. A Swedish ginger fucking around in Singapore.
Yeah, dude. Like, that sounds like
a great tagline, dude.
Like, it's a great tagline. It's like, he's got just piles of Instagram. You just walk around on Instagram Live all day, and everyone would eat that shit up. I would eat that shit up.
Yeah, I chuckled. That was great.
Yeah, that was awesome. All right, we're gonna get one more person, and this is Rex Titan, and then I will let set Tim free.
Hello.
Hey, hello? Rex, what's up?
Hello. We were having a chat in the waiting room.
Sorry, Rex. Yeah. I just fucked up your chat.
I know, right? They were having like proper podcast discussions. We just said we should do the Broman waiting room podcast.
You should do it. That's fine, man. Whatever you want.
But yeah, I was on here before. Don't know if you remember. Probably don't.
I remember your name. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
And your voice. Yeah.
First, I just wanted to say, The Hunt. Thank you. It was great. It was like the bestest thing.
Oh, for those of you who listen to the podcast, that The Hunt is the first fundraising event we did for St. Jude on Twitch with the Borderlands community. Well, I'm glad you liked it, man.
Yeah, that was like just a good opportunity for everyone, and I appreciate it, and I wanted to tell you that. But questions, right? Questions, they're needed. But this one, I don't know how much you're going to be able to help, because your answer might just be Amy does it, but eating healthy and sleeping well and stuff so you have good energy for streaming. I don't know.
The old self-care question.
Know about that. I know Tim earlier was talking about how he lost weight or whatever, so could be interesting. Just thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, like, so Tim should definitely go first.
Yeah, so for me, I mean, Ben does the same thing too, but I do what's called intermittent. And so I learned about this because I got to a point where I was like, oh, I put on streamer weight. But like, how do you your energy intake when you're not doing a lot of energy output? It wasn't really working out. I didn't have a gym that I felt comfortable in. I was putting so much time into streaming. So intermittent fasting is a great way to cut down on your energy input while still sustaining the amount of calories that you need to survive. And then it allows your body to then really just feed off of what you already have there. So in this situation, fat. So that was something that personally for me that I've been doing for almost 2 years now. And so like drinking black coffee and drinking carbonated water is how I kind of keep myself tricking myself into thinking that it's full until it's time to eat. And so that was for me. Also, a standing desk is something that I invested in just to cut down on the potential of throwing a clot, because that does happen with people who sit a lot. That you can build up clots, and those throw, then that's bad. So a standing desk for me was really, really important. It just gives me an opportunity to stretch and just kind of just help keep the blood flowing.
Yeah.
And that is something that I think a lot of broadcasters forget to do, is that they need to invest in their equipment that will help them continue to be healthy. Whether it's a chair like the chair that Broman and I have and Goth have, like this human scale chair is fantastic. You know, it's not like a cheap gaming chair. It is expensive, but it does support. It does what it's supposed to do. It supports you while you're sitting in it. And so little things like that are, for me personally, is what I did to make sure that I'm okay, because at some point streaming isn't going to be a thing, but I want to live to be 80, 90 years old.
Yeah.
So some people, the way that they're living as being a broadcaster, they are on the fast track to not making it to 80 or 90 years old. They are on the fast track to maybe not even make it to 40. You know, like, and that's because like they're sitting for 12 plus hours a day. They don't get up, they don't stretch. They're smoking, they're not eating healthy. And so they're not thinking about themselves. They're on that grind. And the grind is infectious. Like, you get addicted to that grind. Like, you're like, okay, I need to put more hours in. And
one more follower, just one more follower. I could go.
Yeah,
I could
exactly.
do one more hour. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I've done that before. I've done that. You know, you do these 24-hour streams every week because you want to do a subathon and you want to do this, and that takes a toll on your body.
Mm-hmm.
And people forget that. And it's going to be amazing to see what some of these streamers look like 10 years down the road. I mean, there are a couple well-known broadcasters that have had heart attacks. And it's because they're not taking care of themselves, because they're addicted to the grind. And that was one thing that I'm so grateful for with Facebook, is that Facebook honestly gave me the opportunity to not worry about the grind as much and actually take care of myself. I get to go to the gym in the morning. I didn't have that opportunity before. And now, honestly, I regret not making that time 4 years ago, where I should have said, no, I don't need to get on at 5 o'clock in the morning to start streaming. I should go to the gym for an hour and then start streaming. I wish I would have done that. I wish I had that mentality. And it took me 4 years to break out of that mentality of hustle, because unfortunately, that's how the Twitch ecosystem is. If you get on before this person, hopefully you'll might be able to beat them in the direct. You'll keep more viewers, and hopefully you'll beat them in the directory that day.
Yep.
Because that's what it is. Unfortunately, everyone says, oh, you're not competing with each other. There's a community, blah, 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 hashtag bleed purple. No, everyone's competing for directory placement.
Absolutely.
Everybody wants the viewers, because viewers creates income. You're getting subs, you're getting ad revenue, and those people will come back the next day and the next day and hopefully the next day. And everybody's doing it. It's not just the small people. It's the big people too. They're fighting for the directory placements. And unfortunately, that's going to take a toll on their body.
Yep.
So you need to think about the long run instead of the short run. Like, these are all short end goals. Like, you need to think about the long run. So that's how I feel about it now. And it's unfortunate it took me this long to have that mentality.
Tim is passionate about it. I love it.
I really am, because this is something that is I have come to see in the past month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So to piggyback on what Tim said, basically what you need to do is you need to find like a way of eating that is beneficial to you and makes sense, which means you need to do your research. So whether it's like Tim and I do intermittent fasting, or it is, you know, like a traditional, like, eat 5 times a day and like lots of green veggies and blah, 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 like whatever the fuck that makes sense for you, do that and monitor your energy like levels and make sure you sleep every night. Like, just make sure you sleep every night. It's fucking self-discipline at the end of the day.
Yeah. I mean, when I stream, I always make sure I have my water bottle. I always make sure I've eaten beforehand, but it's sometimes the bit in between that and like I don't know, waking up the next day or whatever, I kind of slip, and I'm like, no, need to make sure I'm being good.
It just takes time. I mean, it takes time, it takes practice, and it takes self-discipline. That's it. I mean, that is it. There is no secret. You have to figure out how to hack your own brain to make yourself do what you want every day.
I had terrible habits when I first started streaming. I would grab a box of macaroni and cheese, throw it in the microwave, and eat that while I was streaming because it only took me 3 minutes to prepare to eat for lunch.
What can I make in 3 minutes?
Holy shit, that was a terrible idea. And I was doing that every day because it was fast and I enjoyed it, but I put on streamer weight, dude. And I was pushing like 260 at one point, and I looked like I was gonna explode out of my face. It was terrible. Yeah. It was really bad. And it took me up until 2 years ago when I learned about IF to get out of those habits. So
yeah, neither Tim and I are diet experts, but we have
no. This is personally what has worked for me. I am no dietitian. Yeah. This is what has worked for me personally as a broadcaster. These are my habits. They're not official.
No, hashtag not a doctor. Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Hashtag not a doctor. But yeah, I mean that's the best advice I can give you, man.
Can I do like one more question?
Sure.
Also, I started restreaming to Mixer recently.
Sure.
Like, just testing it, seeing how it is and stuff. And then I've set up like multi, so I have two of me so I can see both chats and stuff. But
cool.
The real thing I've like noticed is because like I've been so used to doing Twitch, and like you have all your friends on Twitch and you're like, these are all the people I like to watch, let's go host this person. After you're like done with Mix, you're like, I don't know anyone. And like I'll go directory diving or whatever, and I can't find anyone that isn't just I'm on an Xbox with no microphone.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to invest time into finding the community there.
Entertaining. So I was like wondering if Tim, especially if he'd been like networking across Facebook and had any tips, or if it's just like connecting back to Twitch as well or something.
I mean, as far as like Facebook goes, there's really no like hosting or like rating features because everyone kind of lives in comments with a video, so it's kind of hard unless you just like throw the link in the chat and hope people click it. Like that's really it. As far as me, when I was streaming on Twitch though, like it was always difficult because when you host someone and you raid someone, they become an extension of your brand. And so you don't want to host someone that you don't really know the quality of their stream.
Yeah.
If you are someone who is a PG friendly stream and they're throwing F-bombs every other sentence, well then that then becomes associated with your
it's a
brand.
Bad motherfucker to raid, dude. It's not good.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to raid that. So honestly, I would suggest to you maybe take some time in your off time and look at people who live in the directories that you live in, and maybe like, oh, okay, I like that guy. He's pretty cool. Maybe next time when I'm streaming, I'll send my people over to him because I enjoy what kind of content he creates. Again, it's hard. Like you don't want to just go ahead and raid Joe Schmo. I get that. Not everybody wants to do that. And some people, yes, they just keep within their circle of friends, host. So yeah, like I definitely would suggest to you, maybe just go content searching, on your off time. Just take a look and see who holds that skill. Like, let's say like, you're on your off day and you get off at 5 p.m. and this guy starts streaming at like 3 and he's still streaming when you get off. Like that would work, like look for those people.
Okay. So like people that are still going when you've finished that you like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's all I got.
Yeah, dude. Well, thank you very much, man. I hope you have a good time, figuring out
Tim.
And networking.
Thank you, Ben.
Very welcome.
Yeah, thank you, dude. You have a good one. All right, we're going to wrap it up.
Okay. Sure. There's still more people up there.
Okay. What'd you say?
There's still more people up there.
Do you want to get a couple more people, Tim?
If you want to, I'm down, dude.
All right, let's get this guy. He's real thirsty. He's in chat and he really wants to ask a question. So we'll help him. Tim's pushing it today, guys. We can keep going. I don't have a problem with it. Tim wants to help everybody. That's why I like Tim. What's up? I'm scruffed up. How are you dude? Today? He's literally just talking in chat. So like, I hope that he unmutes himself and then we can talk. Oh, this is getting really awkward, man. Oh dear.
Oh no.
Oh no. He was just in chat, man.
You had one job, dude.
Just in chat. All I'm hoping that the video will get to him after the incredibly long Twitch delay, and then maybe
he had to go to the bathroom, and now he's like sprinting across his house. Or not.
Maybe.
See, thankfully you can cut all this stuff out.
Yeah. Because I have lots of time for editing, right, Tim? All right, I'm scruffed up. We're gonna give you. I'm scruffed up. You're in chat right now. You're on voice, dude. You're on voice. I'm scruffed up. Unmute, please, so we can talk. We'll see if it works. I don't know, dude. All right, well, we're gonna grab someone else then while Scruffed Up figures their stuff out. Who should we grab next? Do you want to get Tempest here? Let's get Dracky Tempest.
Ah,
hi.
Hi. I was just sort of hanging out.
Oh.
But I can think of a question real quick.
If you don't got a question, I'd rather get... Okay, Scruffed Up fixed his stuff. I love you, Tempest. What's up? I'm Scruffed Up. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, cool. Let me turn off the stream. All right. Yeah, so my question, I guess I've been streaming since the 3rd of this month.
Okay.
And I've been streaming me painting Warhammers. So I guess it's not necessarily gaming, but it's more of on the creative space.
Gotcha.
And I've been using Restream to stream onto, Mixer and Periscope and Twitch and everything like that.
Okay.
They also have the Facebook option, but you have to pay for it.
Sure.
So would you recommend trying to do just a stream on Facebook alone versus multicasting to every platform?
What are your thoughts on that, Tim? Since you're the representative of Facebook. I mean, my thoughts are, before Tim answers,
yeah.
If you've been listening to the entire podcast today, I don't really think there should be a question in your mind about where you should go to start. Tim.
I mean, like, you've got, again, like, if you have the ability to pay for the extra URL that's in Restream, go for it. See what sticks. I mean, like, that's honestly, like, you have literally nothing to
lose.
You're starting from a clean slate. Like, your glass is empty and it's ready to be filled, and you have nothing to lose. So, and all you have to lose is just the $5 or however much that it costs to get that custom RTMP
right
ability.
Yeah.
So yeah, do it.
Okay, so if I stream to basically like every platform and just see which one gets the most traction, that would be the best option.
100%. Like, because you get to see where does my content do well, and then
exactly.
After seeing all of that, oh, sorry, there's a dog freaking out. Give me 1 second, man. You got.
All right. Yeah. I think what Tim was saying is, like, the whole point of doing a restream or things like that is you do that, and then after you're done, you look at your metrics, and they will tell you a story. I will tell you that you've been streaming for 11 days. Have you streamed every day?
I have not. I've only streamed, I think, 3 times total.
Okay, so you have streamed. You haven't even streamed enough times to get a decent sample size to get accuracy of 10%. And you don't even have 10 things to measure against. So I mean, like, I would continue to stream the way that you are right now, pay really close attention to your analytics, and then after a month or 2 of streaming consistently, or like 60 total streams, sit down and look at the numbers, and then double down where you're getting the most traction.
Exactly.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, man. You want to let everybody know where they can find you for now?
Yeah, so I'm everywhere on Scruffed Up, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Mostly I'm on Instagram and Twitter currently. There's not a lot of traction on Facebook as far as my page goes. But I tend to tweet everywhere as far as, like, whenever I go live, I can post to everything. So
fantastic. Well, thank you, Scruffed Up, and I hope you have a good day.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
All right, man. Let's grab there's not a lot of people. We're almost done with all of them, Tim. All right, this is Anime Wolf 17. What's up, Anime Wolf?
Hey, Broman. Let me mute real fast.
Okay.
All right. So my question is, I was all set to like move over to Mixer and stuff, and then I heard that engineer girl who's streaming on Twitch just to fuel her gaming.
Pierogi, and we had a conversation about streaming as a hobbyist. Yeah, I remember that. Okay.
Yeah. So my question is, I was hold on, let me try and get it together. Okay. So what I wanted to know is, I have it to where like I got like just like a few people really that watch me, mostly my friends that I know, and sometimes my nephew who tries to stop in before he goes to bed. So I was getting ready to switch over, and then I heard her, and I was like, you know, maybe I could try to like split time up between the things, because I do like having my friends and also people I've networked with Twitch.
What's your goal? Long term, what's your goal?
Long term, probably.
Do you want to make streaming your full-time shit? Like, do you want to make content creation your full-time job?
Eventually, yes.
Okay, then you need to stop fucking around in places because you're romantically connected to them, and go where you can get exposure, where you can get more eyes on where you're at. That's, I mean, that's literally it. Like, I get that Twitch is like the dream right now. I think people are incredibly romantic about Twitch, and it is one of 3 solid options. But if you're starting and you don't already have a community and you want to go full time, it is the worst of the 3, in my opinion. On Mixer, you have less overall total users, so it's easier to find exposure. Facebook is so early that people aren't even paying attention to it yet. So you can get in front of the wave on both of these platforms instead of playing, you know, fucking whack-a-mole with your growth. And if you have a small community, they will come with you no matter where you're at. If you don't like, and this was the advice that I gave to Nano Pierogi, if you are streaming as a hobby, I honestly believe there isn't a better place than Twitch, because the opportunity that your hobby will fund itself is insane. Like, if you have 10 viewers consistently on Twitch and you want to stream as a hobby, you will probably never have to pay for a video game out of your own pocket again. And you might not ever have to pay for an upgrade to your setup ever again, because your community is going to be very engaged with you, but it's probably going to stop there. That is the highest % outcome chance of success on Twitch. When you look at Mixer or Facebook, you have an opportunity to build a community that grows as the platform grows, which is completely different fundamentally than hopping on board this late in the game on Twitch. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm not trying to be a dickhead. I want you to succeed. Right. But like, if that's your actual fucking goal, you have to put your time and your money where your mouth is, and go somewhere where you have a legit shot. Unless you're like, you know, the next big streamer and you're fucking incredibly skilled, you're hilarious, nobody's better at X game than you, and like you're willing to dedicate all your time to the craft. Like, if you have that skill set, you'll crush it on Twitch. But if you doubt for a second that you have the ability to compete with somebody, you know, like Ninja or Myth or somebody on Twitch that is that skilled, then there are other places where you are going to have a better chance.
All right. Okay. Follow up also.
Sure.
Like, okay, so about a month or 2 ago, like, I was streaming. Like, I've been doing it like off and on for like since House of Wolves, I think.
Sure.
And then like I decided to like be consistent, like a little bit. Like, I had my most consistent run up until last week, when I decided to like take a little break. About 3 months or so, 2-3 months. So like into January, I got rated by a couple of my friends, and that put me over to affiliate, but
Gotcha.
I didn't accept it yet.
Cool.
But so, and then like afterwards, like it just all dropped off, and it was just back to my 2 friends. So like, how do you how do you, well, like, what's the tips to like avoid checking on numbers and stuff other than closing off your dashboard?
That's exactly what you do.
You close your dashboard
just
and then you
don't
wake
look at
up. You wake up every day and you say these numbers don't matter.
I went through a really bad period streaming on Twitch where my sub count tanked, and I was losing more subs than I was gaining, and it was affecting my happiness. I was becoming depressed. My stream performance was crap, and it's all because I was focusing on a set of numbers that were completely out of my control. Because I decided to not play a certain game and I went somewhere else, it then dictated my sub count, and that you're focusing on numbers you can't control. There are things you can control. You can control on the show you put on, and how you play the game and how you interact with the people that you're streaming with, and that's it. Like that's you can't dwell on the numbers that are outside of your control. Viewer counts are out of your control. Sub counts are out of your control. Like you can incentivize, you can try to like encourage people to do it, but at the end of the day, it's a human's decision. It's not yours. You can't make that decision for them. They have to make that decision for themselves. And that's it. So there's no reason to dwell on these numbers that you can't control. You need to focus on what you can do and what is going to affect your stream, which is your outward appearance and how you interact and the energy levels that you show on camera. And that's it. Just have fun.
Okay.
Just enjoy streaming. And that's it. Like if the more fun you have and the more enjoyment that you show, people are probably going to want to stick around and be a part of that, and create and encourage those community developments. Like you want to build the community first, and focus on those things because you can control that. So,
okay. All right, and one last question about webcam versus no webcam, because like I decided
it doesn't matter. No, stop. It doesn't matter. Okay. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. I'm dead fucking serious. We get this question all the time. It doesn't matter. What matters is whether or not you can be engaging with your webcam on or off.
Honestly, it's harder. It's harder with a webcam because you have emotions, you have facial expressions. So when you're sad, your face will naturally go into a sad state, which then gives a negative vibe, and people aren't going to want to look at you.
If people think you're sad, then it's whatever. If there's no cam, like there are advantages and disadvantages to both aspects. But the bottom line is, it doesn't fucking matter. People have been successful with cameras. People have been successful without cameras. It is whatever makes you make the best content. There is not a tip, trick, or best practice. It's about your content. So it's whatever you feel comfortable with.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but like this is I get this question all the time, and the reality is it does not fucking matter. If you're worrying about how your stream looks before you're worrying about the quality of the content that you're putting in there, you're focusing on the wrong thing. There are so many people who've been successful given any circumstance, whether they have like a shitty camera pointed at their television instead of a capture card, or they have a $10,000 setup. Like, it doesn't, like, what brings those people to the top is the quality of their content. So if you don't have a camera, you don't have a camera. Do what you're comfortable with.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Anime Wolf, tell everybody where they can find you.
Currently twitch.tv/AnimeWolf17, but soon to be mixer.com/AnimeWolf17.
Fantastic, man. You have a good one, and I hope nothing but success for you in the future.
All right. Thanks.
All right, dude. Bye.
Bye.
All right, I think we have one more person. This is Crown Man 11.
Hey,
how you
man.
doing, Crown Man
Hello.
11?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can.
Yes.
100%.
Sweet. No way. This is totally awesome.
Like, good. That's what we're going for.
To actually be picked up by y'all, man.
Like you heard a phone call for the first time.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy. I'm actually on my phone. I know.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, man. So I've been watching Ben Broman and the Professorbroman. I mean, even Borderlands days, all of this stuff.
Yeah,
just
long time. Okay.
So awesome. And finally kind of starting up the streaming process with a buddy of mine. And we're just really getting that going. And
Okay.
so one of the things that I also wanted to ask Tim was, if I'm only streaming right now through a console, but looking to do some more PC work, just because it's so an uphill battle financially to look at the PC streaming world, what would you give advice to be able to move to that direction as far as financially looking at the different places? So you're able to restream. I've heard those different areas to be available. But as far as just like moving from console to PC, how would you go about doing that other than just like the hardware part of it?
I mean, like that. I mean, that's your biggest hurdle to jump over, is that you are no longer being able to stream through your device, like your Xbox or your PlayStation. I mean, like there are pros and cons to doing that. I mean, there are people. I want to, like Crafty, for example. When he first started out, he streamed directly through his PlayStation in the Destiny directory and blew up because of how PlayStation and their algorithms and like how they were able to like force those like views and then his directory placements and all that stuff. So like that worked out really well for him, and it's worked out for other broadcasters as well. But you don't have that level of customization. You don't have scenes. You don't have anything. It's just your gameplay, the camera, and that's it.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I mean, like if you're trying to like ball on a budget and you want to, like, I would definitely take a look at like a mid-level like laptop and take a look at an external capture card.
Oh, sweet.
You know, like an external, like if you go to Best Buy, you could probably get one of their like i5 laptops, like one of those like box bundles.
Totally.
You won't have like the best stream in the world.
No, it's about content creation and the idea that you're putting it out there. Yeah,
exactly. But you know, with a you know, like a box bundle laptop from Best Buy and an HD60S from Elgato, like you can get your stream onto OBS and pump it out that way.
Sweet.
And that's a great way to do that on a budget, man. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So I think that's a really good route for someone who's just trying to like get out away from just streaming directly through console, because again, like you can't do that for Facebook, and you can only do that with Mixer.
Yeah, definitely.
Through the Xbox. So like you are right then and there, you're opening up so many more avenues of content distribution by switching over to hardware encoding on the laptop.
Definitely. Sweet, man.
I think that's best advice. Yeah. Awesome. You got the guy.
That's awesome.
You asked the right guy. Tim knows what's up, man.
Definitely. Man, it's just so awesome to have all you guys here, especially with this podcast. I've listened to at least 30 different podcasts so far. I've been all about promoting the Professorbroman, even in my own home with my wife, just everything.
You're too nice, man.
Everything. I mean, he's just an amazing dude, and just having this here is just a true blessing to everybody around it. And I know that it's easy to look past just some of the questions and what goes on, but the overall promotion of everybody else around you is just amazing. So I wanted to thank y'all for it.
Oh, thanks for being part of it, dude. Like I wouldn't like put my money where my mouth is. Other people matter, and I would be misusing my influence if I didn't use it to help other people grow theirs. So thank you. And he's gone. Yeah, he dipped out, man. He was fucking
Wow.
he's fucking super complimentary. And then went
Houdini.
All right. I need to eat food and stuff, so I need to be able to stuff some food in my mouth. I know there's like two people.
Sure.
I'm sure we'll have you back on again in the future, Tim. But do you have any final thoughts for people, for folks? Do you want to just like anything you really want to share?
Yeah, you know, don't be afraid of change. Like that's really the biggest thing, and I think you hit on this like they owe it to a certain platform. They are loyal to a platform. That platform's not loyal to you. You know, you need to do what's best for you, and if taking a risk and going and trying something new, regardless, you know, it doesn't have to be for streaming. It could be any walk of life. Take those risks, and I really think that it's important for people to get out of the norm, to break that mold and try new and exciting things that people would never fathom.
Yeah,
you know, they'd never think about that ever happening and proving them wrong. You know, and so that's, I think, out of all of this, I think that's the biggest thing. And I hope whoever's listening, that if you find yourself in a situation where that opportunity has presented itself, that you do it.
I completely agree with Tim. I'll piggyback on what he said, and I will remind each and every one of you that has ever listened to this goddamn podcast that this was a risk for me. And the first episode, if you go back and listen to it, or if you watch the VOD, that day. I said, all right, we're going to do Ask Broman, and everyone in the universe might think I'm a giant jackass after I try and give them advice. This was a risk. It was one of the scariest things I ever did because I was worried about how it would be received, but it was incredibly worth it. So if you've benefited from this podcast or listening to Tim or this discussion today, it is the result of a risk that I took. I don't know if we can give you any more proof than Tim crushing it on Facebook, the fact that you're actually listening to this podcast, and maybe it's helped and changed your life. But please take risks. You know, if you're out there and you're wondering what you should do about an option that's presented, I wanted to just like resonate with something Tim said earlier. You need, like, the best decision is always the one that you don't regret later. If you're being presented with a decision in your life and you don't know what to do, think about 10 years from now and like which one would you regret more not doing. And that's usually the risk you should take. Thank you all so much for listening today. It's a long one, but I hope that we answered all of your questions about streaming on Facebook. That was a huge part of why I wanted to do this today. Tim has provided some incredible insights and encouragement for anybody who's interested in breaking into streaming there, or anywhere else that isn't where you're comfortable. If you could be so kind as to follow Tim on every platform that he is on, he is at facebook.gg/darkness429. Did I do it right?
It's facebook.com/darkness429, or if you want to go to the page, it's fb.gg. /darkness429.
All right. Facebook.com/darkness429. And he'll get you sorted with that later. If you want to follow him on Twitter, it's @darkness429. Instagram @darkness429. And did I miss any of you?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. All right, that's all the socials. All right, and I'm Professor Broman everywhere: Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. Thank you so much for listening. If you liked this podcast at all today, I'm not going to ask you to rate, review, or subscribe to anyone because I don't really give a shit. I want you to share this with a person that needs to hear it. If you have a friend that wants to start streaming, or they've been streaming and they've been struggling, I feel like this has absolutely been the #1 best episode we have ever done, talking about the dynamics of making the choice to get started, where to start, how to start, and what's best. So thank you so much for listening. Share this with your friends, and I'll catch you next time. Peace. Yay! Good podcast!
Yay!
Oh my God. Tim.